Smooth edits.
Mayoral candidate will be on the general election ballot despite an attempt to block her candidacy by an ally of current Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who is running for re-election.
The objection dropped in a hearing today as we continue to track the drama and federal probe in the south suburb. Our Tara Molina is at Village Hall.
But a Henyard ally used nearly identical reasoning to try to get one of the candidates running against Henyard in the Dalton mayoral race off the ballot, Casundra Hopson-Jordan.
It's about democracy and it's about hypocrisy.
I really think it's very hypocritical.
But that objection dropped in Village Hall today by the petitioner, an ally of Mayor Henyard's, to much less fanfare. Mayor Henyard not present.
I wasn't surprised.
Hopson-Jordan now officially representing the Rebuilding Dalton Party. And this decision means you will be on the ballot in April.
And yes, it does. And may the best person win.
Hopson-Jordan will be on the general election ballot here.
I am in this race. It's about the people. It's not about me, but it's about the people.
She will be up against whoever wins the Democratic nominee, current Mayor Henyard or current Dalton Village trustee Jason House.
For those people who are in the middle that just want things to be done the right way, that just want to have change and things move in a positive direction, what are you going to offer the people should you become mayor of Dalton?
What I can offer the people when I become mayor of Dalton, I offer you 110% of me. See, I'm not the one that like to come in and make promises that I know that I can't keep. My goal is when I get in office, and one of the main things is you have to sit down and take a look at the books. People, say, how are you going to clear up a deficit? Well, I can't clear up what I don't see. So you have to actually sit down and take the time, go through all the books, look at all the positions. You got to look at everything before you actually start making decisions. Now, my job and one of my main goals is to bring businesses into Dalton. We need businesses. We need a tax relief for the middleman. I keep often saying, the seniors and the kids, but often the middleman that is paying the brunt of the taxes, that's getting taxed to death, doesn't get a relief or relief. So my goal is to bring businesses into this village so we can relieve the load of the taxpayer. And I believe once you build this village up, then you attract home buyers. You attract people into the village. So once you build it up, you attract home buyers, which get those houses filled, which gives everybody a relief on these taxes.
So I want to jump right into it since we have someone that we've been trying to get back on the show for a while. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you the lady that is running for mayor of Dalton, Illinois, Casundra Hopson-Jordan. Welcome to the show.
It's good to be back. It's been a minute, but it's good to be back.
Good to have you back. I know we've been very, very busy getting the word out about what's going on in Dalton.
Yes.
For those of you who have tuned into the show before, as you know, I'm running for trustee. Casundra Hopson-Jordan is running for mayor. We are on the Rebuilding Dalton ticket. We are the Rebuilding Dalton campaign, and we are going to talk less about me today and try to catch up with you about all the things that have been going on. So again, welcome to the show.
Good evening. Let me come and do this video real quick before I turn in and end my night. Let me say this, and let me be very clear. And I want to be very, very clear, because I believe in all things we should get an understanding. So I want you all to get a clear understanding. Now, I get it with this mayor race, people emotions and all that stuff is high, and people, just strive with mess and the whole 9 yards. I get it. But let me be clear about something, because I don't want nobody to mess around and find out. My personal space is my personal space. You don't get to get in my personal space. You don't get to come ask me questions. You don't get to do any of that.
Good evening, everyone. All right. I just want to say, I talked to, is she still here? Casundra? She's not here. Okay. I asked her a simple question, which she could not answer. And unfortunately, I got the runaround. I wish she was here. I got a spiel. She couldn't answer my question, but she wanted to overtalk me. And I asked her, can you just answer my question? What is it that you believe these trustees have done wrong? Because you keep saying that they're crooked, they've done something wrong, but you are not telling me anything. She cuts me off again. She can't give me an answer. So I politely say, okay, you want to talk over me, you want to answer my question. You're doing a Henyard on me. What did I say that for? The lady called me a little girl, told me basically to get a life.
And the sad part about it is, it's a lot of you seniors. It's embarrassing the way a lot of you guys act. You all really need to grow up and get yourselves together. But I'm going to be clear about this thing. Do not get me mistaken, and do not listen. I'm just telling you, don't be fooled. Don't mess around and find out. Do not get in my personal space. Don't come with me with no bad energy. Don't do any of that. That's all I'm saying.
So anybody that's running as a candidate for the mayor, you would think that person would want to address your question, give you an answer. You would think that person would want you to know what their platform is instead of being combative with them. I have high anxiety, and that woman is causing the same anxiety as the outgoing mayor, and I can't deal with nobody like that. So, that's all I have to say, people. I'm sorry. I have to get that out because I still have anxiety. So, thank you all for listening.
Well, one of my things I've been working on, I've been blessed to have a lot of contact with a lot of business owners. And with what I do, a lot of times I'm freelancing as a chef, and I get to work with a lot of major companies. And I've built a good rapport with a lot of these companies. So I've been able to actually sit down with a lot of their corporate offices. And I've actually had investors to visit the village, to actually come out, and I've sent them to certain areas to take a look, take inventory. And a lot of them are actually willing to invest to bring businesses into the village. But here's the kicker. I've had them to actually take a look at both of the candidates, take a look at a lot of the people that are attached to them. And one of the things is they're willing to do business with Dalton, but they don't want to be bothered with any of the leadership that's in the seats at this point. You know, I tell a lot of people, you have to be careful about a lot of the stuff that you put out on social media. And one of the things that have turned a lot of these investors off is that this administration, the trustees, they're looking at the whole situation and they're like, they're not an asset, they're a liability. I wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole. You know, when they look at the trustees, from their eyes as investors looking at them, they're like, they're not loyal. In a sense, they're like Judas. Like, who turns against a person that actually put you in the seat? But then they take a look at the mayor and say, she don't have good judgment. You brought all these people along with you, and in less than 2 or 3 months in the seat, they shifted on you. And it's a touchy situation. It's just like we're willing to do business with Dalton, but we're not willing to do business as long as any of these people are actually in the seat.
Right. They don't want to be caught
They
up in
don't
all
want
the
to be
mess.
caught up in the drama, all the craziness. Some of the stuff that they've looked at, like even with some of Trustee's house. I've had them to watch certain videos. I've had them to watch certain meetings. And the people that's attached to him, bad business. And then we look at the mayor, as far as a leader. And I've always say this, a lot of times you cannot friend or fraternize with people that you have to lead. So when it comes to friendship and cliques and all that, you have to separate that stuff. You have to leave it outside of the workspace. So I've had investors to actually check out the village, check out the administration, check out the social media, all of the bloggers. And when they look at this, they're like, listen, we're willing to do business, but we don't want to touch it. It's just too messy. It's unprofessional. They're just a liability. It's just bad business.
Not good for their brand.
No.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No.
This stuff is ridiculous. A lot of you guys need to grow up. You guys are so immature. It's unbelievable. And all those folks with all this keyboard energy and all this negativity, when they see you in person, they can barely hold their head up. Because that lets you know they're all about mess and gossip and all this other crazy stuff. You should be glad someone is running for mayor and giving you an option and trying to help build this village back up. Like, make this stuff make sense. You guys are so hell-bent on crazy stuff. If you are confident about your candidate, then be confident about your candidate. But carry yourself with grace and dignity. You guys are an embarrassment. And it's the same little group of people that comes to the meeting, but make no mistake, I'm not Tiffany Henyard. You will not get up in my personal space. I'm just telling you, because that might not work out well for you. So let's not do that. You don't get to approach me. You don't get to do any of that. That's you and your feelings and your perception and your emotions. All I can say to you is get over it, because I could care less. I could care less.
Oh, God, it's so weird. She can't care. She could care less. It's supposed to be you couldn't care less, because you care the absolute least already, and so there's no less to care. So you couldn't care less. But people always say this wrong. They say I could care less. That means that you do care. That means you do care some. I care a little less, I mean, I care. Yeah, I still do care some. So I could spare to care a little less. That's basically what you're saying. Okay, because you're not saying it right.
But let me tell you this. I'm gonna give you this one for the road.
Uh-oh.
It's whoever she doing the catering with. That's who reaching out.
Ooh.
Whoever she do her catering with, I'm here to tell ya.
Ooh, she dropping bombs.
I ain't tell you what you heard. I'm telling you what I know.
A lot of times I'm freelancing as a chef. What we will not do is be disrespectful and get in my personal space. I'm just telling you, that might not work out so well for you. Let's not do that. Okay? Because I don't want to have to go there, and you don't want me to have to go there. Do you understand? So listen. So as I'm seeing that my page is really starting to grow, I'm starting to get a lot of more followers. And I just wanted to come on today to say thank you to all of the people that following me. And I'm asking that you go and subscribe, become a subscriber, and make sure you check out all the content, like, share, comment, the whole nine yards.
But today I want to focus on an equally large and growing disease. This is one I don't believe the WHO has recognized as a pandemic yet, but it's not far off, I imagine. It's called clout chasing.
So to whoever win this race, best of wishes to them. I will be going over and wishing the candidates good luck on both sides. And, House, Tiffany, shake both of their hands. Good luck to them. May the best person win. Whoever wins it, I'll see them on April the 1st. We'll be out hitting the ground, hitting the boots, campaigning. I'm knocking on everybody's door, whether you're a Henyard supporter, a House supporter, or a Hopson-Jordan supporter. I'm going to be knocking on everybody's door. As I said, I don't have any ill will or ill feelings toward everyone. And this is what I want to tell people. Stop making this stuff personal. You know, it's a political race. Stop taking this stuff to heart. Stop making this stuff personal. Stop fighting against people. Stop with all the negativity. You know, here, I'm a firm believer. If it's somebody that you don't like, then you just don't vote for them. If it's a candidate that you like, then you give them your vote. It's just that simple. But all the nastiness, leaving nasty comments, leaving nasty messages and all that crazy stuff, like, we ain't got to do that, people. Let's grow up past that. Like I said, we all can agree to disagree. And what we all should be doing in this season, with all the stuff that's going on as black folks, we need to be coming together and boosting these entrepreneurs and building our own malls and things of that nature. So we as a people can have resources for one another. Time out for all this other foolishness and all this other stuff. But yet, they want us to keep them in the seats. And then look at the sign. We come and put a sign in front of the house, and we know that the house is jacked up. Look at that. Look at the sign we put in front of the house. But yet we ignore the conditions of the house. Yet we ignore the conditions of the block. Indeed. So you ain't got to do all that. You know, like as I said, I haven't received any of the negative stuff from Tiffany people. I haven't received any of it. As I said, when I started this race, all I heard was Tiffany goons, and they bullying, and they doing this, and they stalking people. I haven't experienced any of that. And it's probably because I ain't just out here dogging folks. People get mad when they say, why ain't you dogging them? Because y'all dogging her enough. You don't need me to add until, listen, I ain't got to join your hate group. You don't need me to add on. Because whatever she's doing, she's self-destruct. Some things are just self-explanatory. You don't have to jump on the bandwagon. It's okay to have your own views and your own opinions about things. You don't have to jump on the bandwagon. When people say, what do you think about, I don't think anything about Tiffany because I never had any expectations of her because I never voted for her. So I can't have expectations of someone that I never supported, that I never voted for. This is what I've said in the beginning. I've never voted for her, House, or any of them because I personally didn't feel like any of them would make good leaders. So therefore, they didn't get my vote. So therefore, I don't think anything of any of them. I don't see anything that they've produced in the time frame that they've been trustees, the time frame that they've been under this administration. I just have not seen anything fanatic that they produce. And people say, why are you doing this? Because people need to be made aware of what's really going on in this village. Get you guys out of fantasy land. Get you guys out of la la land. Stop letting them paint the narrative that only one person is bad. You all are bad. I'm going to keep reminding you, you guys worked hard to get Mrs. Henyer in office. You guys went throughout the village and convinced the people to vote for her. So in a sense, you all did this to the village. And now you want us to put you back in office? I think not. You don't deserve the seat. None of you do. Because look at our village. But yet you go to meetings, you guys argue, you point the finger at one another, and look at what the village has become. See, we take these seats and we just keep kicking the can down the road.
But play the game, kick the can down the road.
I want you to furnish my lifestyle, but I don't want to do anything for the community. But let them tell it. We're out in the community. We're doing the work. And this is how the community is looking. Look at this.
Inside the community, outside the community, they often are attracted to all the noise and the smoke. And my words for them is, you know what? Do your research.
Right.
Understand why you feel the way you feel about the incumbent,
Right.
the people that are running, getting to know us. Do your research. That's what I tell the people. So when it comes to the people, how do you, because you've had more conversations than I have about the smoke in Dalton. So what do you leave with the people concerning what they need to do to be informed?
Well, as far as the people on the outside or inside?
Both.
Well, as far as the people on the outside, when I'm approached with all the stuff that's going on, and they, first thing is, well, she stole all this, and I'm like, listen, people, you have to stop saying people stole stuff and people did this and people did that, because honestly, all this stuff is just speculation and hearsay. You got to understand, a person is always innocent until proven guilty. So I get it. You say you got the feds and all this stuff investigating, but in the meantime, until people actually get them handcuffs put on them and they actually get charged with a crime, you have to stop saying, stop this narrative that people stole this, people stole that, because honestly, I haven't seen any proof. You haven't seen any proof.
Neither have they.
And a lot of people, we just going off of speculation and what you're saying, and you got to understand and realize, and I know some won't get mad.
They've been big time.
But this is information that the trustees have put out as far as all of the thievery, the theft and all this. And when I look at this Lori Lightfoot report, see, when I look at stuff like that, I want to see names next to who did what, when they did it, why they did it, what time they did it. So if you're not showing me that, then you're just showing a report of money that's just being spent. You haven't actually put a name next to it. So I tell people, just stay away from all that. Stop slandering people's names. Stop throwing people, name in the mud, and just stop with the foolishness and wait till the actual facts come out. Everybody has a speculation, but no one has actual facts. Nobody has actually seen documents. We just haven't seen it. I mean, it is what it is. I had one crazy guy say, well, if you don't win this race, what are you going to do? Sir, it's called live. L-I-V-E. I'm going to live. As I was living before, I will live after. Life goes on. Every person that gets in a race doesn't win the race. Somebody has to lose it. Somebody has to win it. And whether you're the winner or the loser, life does go on. It does. So I'm like, that was just like one of the dumbest questions to have ever asked. Like, what are you going to live? Life goes on. And 90% of this stuff that you guys are hearing and seeing over this social media, a lot of this stuff is just garbage. Get out and actually talk with the residents. And I've talked to plenty of the residents, and a lot of them said, honestly, this primary, they're not even going to vote in the primary. So you'll probably see the results at the end of the 25th as far as the numbers, because a lot of people are so disgusted. They're tired of the fighting. And with all this internet stuff, magnifying it, making the situation bigger than what it is, a lot of false narratives, a lot of false information. People just want views. They want likes. They want to monetize their pages. They want to gain money from all this stuff. A lot of these people that's in this village, they don't even look at this stuff. They ain't even on no internet like that. Me and my husband visited a couple of residents when we left dinner yesterday. And they don't pay attention to this stuff. All they know is who they're going to vote for, and who they're going to vote for is none of your business. A lot of times I'm freelancing as a chef. Because it's embarrassing the way our seniors are acting. It's embarrassing the way they go to these meetings and act like they don't have no common sense. So before you come on here asking a stupid question, then you're going to get a stupid answer. Wow. People need to stop acting stupid and grow up. Because you obsessed. The same way y'all was obsessed with Tiffany. I guess since she ain't on the scene no more, now you obsessed with me. But hey, listen, go ahead. Run them numbers up. Monetize. You already done monetize my page. Go ahead and run them numbers up. Because at the end of the day, I'm a businesswoman first.
It's called clout chasing.
Understand that. So stop with the foolishness. Stop with the nonsense. Y'all are embarrassing. It's ridiculous the way you all act. And I ain't talking about no young folks. These are old folks acting like a bunch of old fools out here. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I said what I said. Now take that back to your group. Put that in their pocket. Put that in your pocket and smoke it. Y'all are ridiculous. But once again, don't get in my personal space. I'm just telling you, you're going to mess around and find out.